Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's TJ, and you guys are gonna have to forgive me. I don't really look good right now. I literally just woke up, and I just had to make this video right now because one, my voice is very deep, and I like this voice. It's very deep. Two, I realized that sometimes when I have an idea in my mind, whenever I procrastinate and say, no, I'll do this idea tomorrow, I usually just forget. And even when I write it down, when I read it again, I still lose meaning in the text. So that's why whenever I have an idea, I prefer to just set up my camera as quick as possible, get my mics, and just speak so that the idea is still raw and fresh in its initial thought. So, as you guys might have seen from the title, aliens must invade Earth. Yes. I say this because right back from the early days, Adam and Eve, Cain and Abel, human beings have been fighting. We always have a reason to fight. No matter how much you look for peace, no matter how much we try to bring up laws and try to find resolutions, there will always be a reason to fight. The thing that motivates us the most to keep fighting each other is identity, right? We always try to look for a common enemy. Once we all find a common enemy, we then group ourselves according to our beliefs and identity, and we create this sort of common this sort of, how can I say, points to why we must fight this common enemy, right? Even in Christianity, our common enemy, of course, the evil spirits, the devil himself. In everything, there's always a common enemy. Now, even in modern day and age, we have the Republicans and the Democrats, right? There is always a common enemy. And right now, even here in South Africa, what we have is the foreigners and the nationals fighting each other. The foreigners are destroying our economy. You know, they stealing, they taking our jobs. It, like, literally, history just repeats itself continuously. It just keeps on repeating itself. So here is my belief, right? I believe the only solution to the whole world finally coming together and stop fighting is for us to create a larger, much bigger common enemy. And who is that? Who's going to be the biggest common enemy that will unite the whole world, every nation coming together as one? Aliens. Aliens are the only common enemy that would be able to unite the entire world. That is why we need aliens to invade. And that is probably why, if aliens have probably came into the world, governments or secret organizations will try to keep them hidden, because they know that these entities, these species, are the only things that will make all of us humans to unite, right? I believe not in one world domination, not in one world nation, but in one world united. So there is beauty in our differences. There is beauty in our different languages and culture. We need that, right? We need that as human beings. I know everything I'm saying sounds so crazy. Oh God, but I truly believe in this. When identity is rooted in our shared humanity rather than geography or physical traits, empathy stops at no borders. Unity without uniformity. So when I say we humans need to be united, right? One world united. I'm not saying we have to be like the Germans, right? I'm not saying we should do what the Germans did, where they wanted one world order. They wanted dominion over the whole world, where everybody's speaking German, everybody's dressing a certain type of way. In fact, everybody's white. Nah, that's not what I'm talking about. I don't want everyone to be one particular race, one particular language. I'm saying we all need to be humans first, right? We need to like, when they ask us, right, who are you? we don't identify ourselves based on the countries that we just drew borders on and called it a country. No, I'm not saying you identify yourself by a piece of land. I'm saying you identify yourself as a human being. So one world unit is different from one world nation or domination. So this advocates for a shared humanity without stripping away individuality or forcing a single centralized power, right? And I'll read the quote again. When identity is rooted in our shared humanity rather than geography or physical traits, literally borders, pieces of land, empathy stops at no border. So our identity must be rooted in our shared humanity, not borders, bro. Oh my god. And this idea just hit me one day, and it made so much sense. The reason for racism, tribalism, nepotism is because we all think that we are different. People all hated Samaritans, right? I mean, they thought Samaritans were bad people. And this same person who hated the Samaritans found himself on the ground, unable to move, right? All his people, the people who he thought were his people, kept passing over him, literally jumping over him, moving like they didn't really care about him. But the one person that he thought was his enemy, the common enemy, came and helped him out right there on the ground, right? That day onward, I bet you he didn't have that same idea of the Samaritans are our common enemy. That idea just went out of his mind as quick as possible. As soon as that Samaritan helped him up, that idea went out of his head. And I can bet you from that day, his identity was no longer rooted from the land he was born in or the people he grew up with, but by the shared humanity. We are human beings first. Oh man, my thoughts are so mumbled up. I have a lot of things that I want to say, but I don't know how to say them, and they're all coming out at the same time, so I keep on mixing my words. But the idea remains the same. We are humans first. We are humans first. One world united.